Alright, in this video I want to take a look at the splice method for arrays. The splice method gives us a lot more flexibility in terms of adding or removing array elements. We can control the specific index. In push and pop, it was always at the end, right? We push to the end, we pop from the end. Here, splice can add things anywhere in the array or remove anything from a position in the array. So the way it works is you take your array and you do the dot splice. And then as arguments, you start off with the index, right? Where do I want to add something or remove something? Or do both? Okay, so index. And then the next element is how many things do you want to remove? And then after that, you can list as many elements you'd like to add. So you can insert a whole bunch of elements into your array if you want to. Most of the examples we'll do, I think, will just stick to one. But you can do multiple items and it'll insert all of those into your array. Okay, so I've got some examples here, but again, let's play around with our array visualizer to see how the splice works. Let's just make sure we remember the first argument is the index, second, how many to remove, and then the item to add, or multiple items to add. Okay, let's try this. So again, we've got my data array, and my max data value is 60, and let's see if we can do something with this splice. Okay. So you'll see, yeah, it says the start, which is the index, the delete count, how many things do you want to delete, and then the items you want to add. So let's say we wanted to, let's start by deleting something. Let's say we wanted to remove the first element, right, which has an index of 0, this 45 here. So my index I would put as 0, and I do a comma, and then my delete count, how many things do I want to remove? I want to remove one thing. And now the items to add, I don't want to add anything, right? I just want to remove this so I don't need to do anything else. That's it. So data array.splice 01, you hit enter, and it's, well, we don't see it yet, but if I go data array, you'll see that it removed the 45, and if we redraw our array, keep an eye over here, and it should remove it. Ta-da, it removed it. Okay, awesome. And you'll notice that splice does return the things it removed inside of an array, right? And that's because I could have removed two things if I wanted to. And actually, let's try that. I'm just going to hit the up arrow key to go back. So data array.splice two things, and that'll remove the 60 and the 10. Right? The 60 and the 10 will get removed, and you'll see it returns the two things it removed in an array. That's pretty cool. And if I redraw the array, you'll see those things eliminated. Awesome. Okay, now let's see how splice can be used to add something. So let's say I want to insert a value in between the first and second element, right? So I want to actually insert it at the second element here and push these three to the right. So let's add a 60, right? Nice big tall one, so that it'll be the second element. So to do that, we do our data array.splice. Again, where do I want to insert or where do I want to add something? At position 2, or sorry, at second element, which is index 0, index 1. So at index 1, then how many things do I want to remove? 0, right? I don't want to remove anything here. I just want to insert. And then what do I want to insert? The value of 60. Okay. So we hit enter, and we don't see anything yet. Now, it returned an empty array because we didn't remove anything, right? But if I look at my data array now, data array, you'll see that the 60 is now inserted. Oh, I didn't print it out. But yeah, we removed these, so in between the 50 and the 30, we've inserted that 60. And if I draw the array, bam, you'll see that it inserted that 60 there. Okay, cool. Let's say we want to insert position 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. So data array.splice. Position 3. I don't want to remove anything, and let's insert a 10. Okay, so let's look at our data array now. You'll see that it inserted a 10 at position 0, 1, 2, 3, right? And then the 40 and the 20 got moved. And if we redraw it, you'll see the 10 gets inserted there. Okay, so yeah, splice, we can remove things, we can add things, we can do it at specific positions in the array, right, given that index value here. Oh yeah, one thing that I want to show you, this is a common thing that people do. They're like, oh, I want to replace this 10 with a 60. Right? And they'll say, well, how can I do that? Well, I'm going to replace this 10. I'm going to do data array.splice, and at position 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, I want to remove the value here. Right? I'm going to remove the 10 and I'm going to add a 60. And this will totally work. Okay, this will totally work. So we've removed the 10, and if you look at your data array now, that 10 is gone and it's now a 60. If we redraw the array, this 10 should now become a 60. Boom, it worked. But I'm going to suggest there's a way easier way. Okay, instead of having to remove something and then insert something, which is way more work for JavaScript to do, what we could do is simply go data array at position 3 and just reassign it. Like right now it's 60, reassign it to 10. Okay, and if I draw the array, it just changes it. Okay, so like I said, this will accomplish what you wanted to do. It removes and replaces it, or inserts something, but this is just way simpler and makes JavaScript do less work. Okay, it just overwrites the memory instead of removing this and shifting everything and then inserting. And anyway, so this is just a little more clear. Okay, so just a reminder, you can modify arrays directly like this, but if you want to add or remove something at a specific element, use this beautiful splice method. Okay, hope that made sense. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video.